Hi everybody, it's Jen Mattel with Jen Mattel DT, that's me. Long time no video. So I'm coming at you today in my car. Hi, welcome to my car. As a developmental therapist, this is my office. It's where I spend a lot of my time. I am following up today on a post that I did a long time ago. You may remember it. There was a cute little fella and he had on a shirt and it said straight out of timeout. And in that post I had promised you, sorry I'm so late, that I would get back to you guys on a behavior plan that I have used and come to love over these past 18 years. Okay, so my family has used an approach where they would use 1, 2, 3. And come to find out that several years after my family had used that approach, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it, there is actually a program called 1, 2, 3 Magic. And I attended a seminar a long time ago where I was trained or in the 1, 2, 3 Magic approach. I would tell you, go ahead and Google search 1, 2, 3 Magic. There are DVDs and there are videos, and I believe that the gentleman actually still puts on seminars. So highly recommend it if you are looking for further knowledge on this area, as I'm just going to be kind of glazing over, generally speaking. I will tell you that I have used it in the classroom, in therapy, and on my own 4 children, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would categorize my children, 2 out of the 4, as being very strong-willed children. So if any of you are dealing with that, hang in there. I know what it's like. The key with behavioral approaches is to be consistent and loving. I think that I have heard it said that I'm very firm, but as equally firm, I am also equally loving. So I think that that is the basis. If we're doing all things in love, which some days we're better than that at others, and that's okay. We're going to cut ourselves some slack too. So let's get down to it. First of all, you cannot begin to use this approach until your child has a receptive, so that means how well they understand the spoken word. They have to receptively be at about an 18 to 24 month level. If you're not sure, don't try it, because you're only going to frustrate yourself and your child, and it's so not worth it. Here is how it works. Let's just say there is an undesired behavior happening. For example, in my home, if I'm saying to you it's time to clean up, and you had already gotten the warning, I said in a few minutes we're going to be cleaning up, and then I'm saying to my child, okay, it's time to clean up now, honey, and there's like no cleaning up happening, and as a matter of fact, I'm kind of getting some of this no. So then I say, that's 1, clean up. And I count in my head for 5 seconds. So 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. The research comes into play. You've got to do that 5 seconds. You need to allow that time for processing. That's what research has shown, okay? So 5 seconds pass and no cleaning up is happening. So that's when you then say, that's 2, clean up. Notice the tone of voice too, right? I'm not all Mary Poppins about it, which some people have said that would be the sing-song voice that they typically see me with. So it's not like that. It is firm. That's 2, clean up. 1, my facial expression too, right? I'm giving all that, my body language, my facial expression. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. No cleaning up happening. That's 3, clean up. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. No cleaning happening? Okay. Now you're on a timeout because you didn't listen. You take your child to the designated timeout spot. For example, in my house, it's the bottom stair. It's in the living room. They're not being put away somewhere. We're all right there. We're all present. When the timeout's over, by the way, they get a timeout for however old they are. So example, my daughter is 3, so she gets a 3-minute timeout. I set the timer. The timer beeps, it goes off, I go over to my child, I bend down to her level, and I say, beep, your timeout's over, you are a good girl, you need to make better choices. What did you do wrong? And then she'll say to me, because we've trained her as well. So behavior approaches are also about training your child. We've trained her, and then she'll say, I didn't listen to you. And I'll say, that's right, honey, you're a good girl. We're going to make better choices next time. Now let's go clean up. We go over, and I'm going to tell you, 9 times out of 10, she's cleaning up. But let's talk about that one time out of 10 when she isn't. You guessed it, we're going through that whole routine all over again, okay? So some people have said to me in the beginning, what do I do? Because in the beginning, like I said, you're training your child how to use this program, what's expected, what is acceptable, and what's not. In the beginning, I can almost guarantee you that your child is going to get off the timeout. You simply put him back on the timeout, no words. You just pick him up. We're back. You keep your back to him or her as many times as they get up. We're back. We're back. So in the beginning, you're going to be doing that for a little bit. Then what's going to happen is, when the timeout's over, you do the same thing that I just talked about. What you guys need to determine, though, is something that I can't tell you. Only you can with the people who care for your child. You need to come up with the behaviors that are unacceptable in your home, or the behaviors that you don't want to see in your home anymore. So for example, I don't allow jumping on the furniture. I don't allow for kind of sassy talk. I don't like that. And there are some behaviors, though, that are, we're not playing here. This is not a timeout. For example, we are not hitting. So if we hit, it's an automatic timeout. My daughter is in this really fun stage where if she doesn't like what her siblings do, she does this really fun, you're welcome that I just did that for you. She does that. And so that has turned into an automatic timeout because it's something that I want to extinguish now, especially with school going to be starting soon. That's not okay. That's not an okay behavior. So those are automatic timeouts. I'll tell you that this approach is very effective. I use it all the way. I told you my youngest is 3. My oldest will be 13. I've used it with all of them. It's very effective. There's no yelling. There's no negotiating. It is simply 1, 2, 3. I think what I have seen, some of the families that I have worked with over the years, they have asked to be trained in the program, and so I've trained them and they've used it with their own children very successfully. But the families who have had the most success, there are a few things that they do. First of all, they are consistent. You do have to be consistent with it. So pick your battles. If jumping on the furniture for you is not a battle that you want to be fighting, don't make that your rule. Who cares? It's okay. It's up to you. It's your family. It's your house. The things that I would say that are important are things that within the society that we live in, you want to make sure that you are raising your child up to be successful in that society, right? So in our society, for example, it is probably very much so frowned upon when somebody says something that you don't like to do that whole thing to them. Funny, but not nice, right? And so that is definitely behavior that I need to make sure we eliminate in our household. So anyways, what I can say to you is back to those families that have been successful with it. First of all, they're consistent. Second of all, they're all on the same page, the whole team, mom and dad or sitter. It's important that everybody is doing the same thing. They're consistent. The child knows these are the what's expected of him or her, and there's no punches being drawn to the child because that's confusing. It's a clear and consistent plan that everybody uses together. There's lots of communication going on. You notice within the timeout, when it's over, we bend down, we give a hug and a kiss, we reassure them that they are a good child, and here's what was the undesired behavior, here's how we're going to fix it, and next time we're going to make better choices. The other thing that they do is, so they're consistent, they communicate with one another, and they're loving about it. So, and they use the firm tone. All of those things together. So there's just a little bit of snippet of 1, 2, 3 magic. Like I said to you, you can use it beginning. You have to make sure that a child has a receptive language between 18 and 24 months. That's their understanding of spoken language. Again, if you're not sure, don't use it. Don't do it. But if you have questions about it, feel free to inbox me on Jen Maddle DT, that's me's Facebook page. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited because there are 2 websites being worked on right now. One for Jen Maddle DT, that's me, and one for jenmaddle.com. So there's going to be a Jen Maddle DT, that's me.com, and a jenmaddle.com. For those of you who don't know, I'm also a singer and a songwriter, and I have published I'm in the process right now of publishing 2 children's books. I have a total of 3. I'm really excited about that. And I have had some articles published as well. So some of those things are going to be featured, and on the websites you're going to be able to book me for speaking engagements. So if you know of anybody that's looking to have a developmental therapist who's also a mom of 4 awesome kids come in and chat with you and share some knowledge and expertise, I'd love to do that. You can message me also on my Facebook page, Jen Maddle DT, that's me. And thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks for hanging in with me for how long I've been taking. Thanks for coming into my office. Here we are in my car. I love it, and I'm glad that I was able to chat with you. I look forward to doing some more of these videos because I think that I had gotten some really great response from them, and everybody said they were very helpful. I'll tell you a little snippet here. This month in therapy, it's all about dinosaurs. Rawr. We are doing lots of fun things with dinosaurs, and we're having a blast. Well, thanks so much. Be sure to tune in next time. I'll try to make sure that it doesn't take me 6 more months to get back to another video. And have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.